Good morning, audience. Good morning, students. Welcome to our session on business planning and development. Once more, we continue with our series of lectures on business planning. Earlier sessions, we looked at what a business plan is, the scope. We also looked at the contents, the structure, and with the structure we decided to look at it in terms of introduction, also look at the management. We've looked at the production. Now production, we said if it's tangible, if it's got to do with the tangible product, goods, then we are talking of production. If it's got to do with services, the intangible, then we are dealing with an operational plan. And the operational plan here got to deal with what goes on, the processes involved in actualizing your service for consumption by the end consumer. And we look at how you plan all these things. So once more, we continue today from that stage, and then we move on, see how far we can go. Now, if the venture is a retail form of business, then the entrepreneur is got to describe the steps in completing the business transaction. Okay. Have to include the description of the processes from purchases of the merchandise through the sales as well as inventory control. And here we're talking of the purchases of the merchandise. The warehousing system demands that as you receive the goods that come in first, you make way or you arrange them in such a way that the goods that come in first will be sold first and the goods that come in last will be sold last. In which case we are talking of what we call the FIFO, first in, first out. The FIFO system of arrangement. So the purchases of the merchandise via the warehouse should go through such a process. And inventory cards should be put on them. As and when you take the inventory, then you know how the sales should also go. Take inventory, then you know the stock level. Then you know the expiry dates of your products even. So that if the products are nearing the expiry, then you take a decision on what strategy to use to sell them faster. Okay. So knowing all these things also come in to impact on the selling approach that you use. Again, in your operations, you should demonstrate or you should put in writing control system that you've put in place. I was just talking about the warehousing. If you have the tally cards, then as you take inventory, it will help you. It's a way of control. Tally cards will let you know that you have so much stock of this product, A or B. You had so much stock of another product. Then as and when you take them out, the balance is there. So these are all sort of controls that should be there. Now, if it's also computerized, then equally you should go and then key in what quantities you've taken of each. Now, if it's networked, automatically, then as you go on the computer, the networking will factor that in, and then the system will level up as you take out some quantities. So you must demonstrate what controls you have put in place. And if it's also operations, what will make your products, what will make your services get the patronage vis-a-vis competitor products or services. So in this case, in your plan, you should highlight how different you're going to be. Highlight the differences. Let's see the differences. Okay, how unique going to be from your competitors. Okay, now what again shows that your setup, your firm, your business will succeed. Most often, for most businesses, experience is inevitable. And here I'm talking of people who have the know-how, and not only the know-how, but have some years behind them with results in that area. They show results that they've done ABCD. Typical example can be taken of the financial sector. You setting up a microfinance. The people you are bringing in, what experience? It can be people who are novices. No, you're certainly going to fall if you do that. So the experience of the people here will give us the assurance that that business will succeed. So for most of these services, you need experienced hands. Okay. Again, the success of most of these businesses, as I said, depends on systems you put in place. Systems here talking about not only controls, but the process that it should go through. For instance, you just can't start loading products off the warehouse into trucks unless there is an invoice raised. So systems in place. If there is an invoice raised, automatically, what then it means is the sales coordinating office have factored in the sales of those products, and financially they will be catered for. Accounts will also have taken notice of that. Now, if it's generated, both the accounts and the sales or commercial outlet have taken note of that. So fiscally, if these things are taken off the warehouse, then the system itself caters for all that. So systems should be in place. And even then, transport, whoever is in charge of monitoring transport should also have notice of that, and then give his securities to note that these quantities have been sent out. Dispatch, some sort of dispatch book. So the systems are in place, and then automatically these systems will ensure that that business will succeed. For most of these businesses that are intangible, their success is also closely linked to the location and the environment of that business. And here I'm talking of typical service products. So in your operations, all these should come. Let us know if it's like a hair salon. The location, people are not ready to move distances and then go and do their hair. Of course, some will, depending on the product or the service they are receiving somewhere. But I'm just talking within the locality. People should have easy access to your hair salon. So if your hair salon, they will have to walk long distances to probably the extreme end of the town or the district. It puts them off. If your competitor comes locate so close by the roadside within them and can give them same or equal service as you do, yes, most of them will move there. So the location is also strategic. Unlike the product where people don't mind where it's coming from, right? For that, the product is the tangible. Here I'm talking of the tangible. It's what they look at. But for service, the location and the environment, and here talking about the environment, I'm talking about the attraction, neatness, orderliness, the ambience. All these will make people do business with you and then come again and again. If the environment puts them off, yes, be rest assured tomorrow they will not come. So you need neat environments and people deal with you. Now, for most of these intangibles too, there are regulators. So if you succeed, you have to make sure that you stay within the regulatory controls put in place. You have to probably go for a permit, a license before you can operate, right? And here typical is running of this microfinance. For most nations, you should be under a regulatory body. So you go find out what are the ABCs needed before you can continue in that area. So the operations plan should factor in all this in your business plan. Now, as you continue with your planning, you must also let us know how you manage your business. And here talking about the management, I'm talking of the organizational plan, okay? The ownership of that business and the form of ownership. Who owns the business? Is it a sole proprietor? Is it a partnership? Is it a public limited liability? Is it a private limited liability? In all this, it goes with the rules, it goes with lay down structures. For instance, if it's partnership, what agreements have you put in place? Okay, so there should be agreements, both agreements detailing the operations and also the exit. So when you are exiting, how are you going to part with the working capital? Okay, yes. So the ownership, it goes with its own challenges, and you should write all these down so that as and when you get there, then you follow that details and then it works. So the ownership structure, form of ownership should be known. Again, if it's partners, then you should be able to identify the partners of that business plan. Who are the principal shareholders? Let's know all that, right? And again, if it's most often it's advisable that you have directors who are seasoned and who have what it takes to direct affairs of the business. So in this management area, who are the board of directors, okay, and who are the consultants and advisors, if need be, in that area? Who are those? You should write all those, and that is a determinant that that business is likely to succeed or not. Talking about the microfinance, if you are setting up such a venture, yes, you can't say you succeed if you are managing it yourself and you have no know-how, you have no knowledge in the financial sector. So it's advisable that you have on your board seasoned bankers from various banks who direct affairs, okay? Or they can also serve as consultants or advisors, and then you know what to do. Now, if you have this management, what are the authorities that they weigh? Who reports to who, and who has what role? Let's know all this. In fact, we are talking of the organizational structure. If you like, in other terms too, the organogram, okay? The organogram should be followed, and that is also going to be done in such a way that it orders the management of the organization. The management team, here talking about the people who constitute the management, the directors, the CEO, name them. What experience and technical capabilities do they have? What's their background? If they've not done it before, then you are taking a very serious risk. Okay, you are on the path of a downfall for most businesses. For instance, you can't also run a service company like these laboratories without you having technical people and experienced people. If not, then you are likely to give people results that tomorrow will ruin your business, because they'll go with contaminated blood, etc. Name them. Yes, so the management team, their background matters. And as I said, the roles and responsibilities of the members should be known. That's why the organogram becomes indispensable. Yes, so the business plan should factor in all this. And we continue the session with another plan as we finish with the management plan. So just stay put for the next few minutes, then we continue business plan from there. Thank you.